Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of SME Communities, we would like to welcome Girija ma'am for this fireside chat. When we are looking at the global phenomena, today SME is playing a key role across the globe because it's the small drops which make a big ocean is something all of us have heard. And then, in today's world, which is highly volatile, uncertain, what we require is a risk coverage, and all of us face it on a day-to-day event. Now, the backbone of any finance, whether it is banking or any export or anything, insurance play a key role in protecting both the individual's economy as well as the nation's economy. We are proud to have India's largest general insurer amongst us. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us this afternoon. So to begin with, there are a lot of things that are being talked about in the FDI cap being increased to 100%. A lot more insurance companies are planning to come to the Indian market, which means a lot of foreign companies are coming in. How do you see the changes that's going to happen in the Indian market?
So the FDI being opened up and, 100% FDI being allowed, people are being allowed to set shop. I think it's one of the, usual, the way the government has been operating last 10 years. And I think if we have to achieve this national dream of, becoming a developed economy by 2047 and having insurance as one of the major pillars of that dream, into building that dream, and if we have to have insurance for all by 2047, which is an aspiration based on which we can have a more financially inclusive society. When we have this level of aspiration on such a diverse country with 140 crore population, I think these kind of measures are very important, and we welcome this step. 100% FDI is a welcome move. Many more insurers will enter the fray, and I think mostly since we would have both domestic and foreign companies taking interest or come in on a partnership basis. Either which ways, I think there is anything that wherever there's competition, it creates a lot of room for innovation, for customer centricity, and this is very good for the nation.
Oh, fantastic. A very positive approach, ma'am. But at the same time, don't you feel competition from the international players who could be innovating new products, as you rightly said, especially looking at the SME community? There have always been saying that there is no customized products for SMEs. What are your thoughts on that?
It is wrong that what you said, that there are no customized products for SMEs. Okay. New India has customized products for SMEs. We have been having it for some time, and they have been even tweaked and made even more attractive this year. And we also have special SME products for women, which was launched on Women's Day this year. And these are across the small, medium, large enterprises. So it's for all of them, and you can also tweak the sum insured basis, the requirement, and it covers most of the perils that normally the SMEs would want as a fundamental cover. Now, when it comes to customization, New India's doors are always open for any kind of requirement, and we'll be able to, very happy to, customize that insurance requirement for...
so you'll be divided, right.
Yeah.
One more thing is, see, whenever I talk to anyone coming from the insurance space, people say, "Arey, your insurance, it's all only cost here. When your claim comes, I had to go through such a hassle. I don't get any claim," especially the small customers. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's not true, because I think there is a lot of mis-selling or unawareness about insurance. I mean, when you buy an insurance cover, there are some terms and conditions that are there in in the policy. Now, the covers could be available for several limits. There could be the premium, and basis that the premium changes, whether the amount of co-share you have or the limits that you choose, high or low, also determines the premium. So if you have gone for a particular cover, your claim will be as per that. You can't buy a very limited cover and then ask for the moon. This is not viable in any economic activity. Not even in an MSME business, I believe it is viable. So you will promise what what you promise to pay. And I think that is what happens. And I think because of the unawareness or assumption on the part of the customer that, I have bought a policy, so everything under the sun is covered. And that is when there is an issue. So I think when you buy these products, you should be completely informed. The regulator has taken a very dynamic role in this last 3 to 4 years. The regulator has put customer centricity at the center of all the insurance company operations. There's a lot of regulation on being very transparent, putting policy wordings in simple terms. We have a compulsion, it's mandatory to issue a customer information sheet for every product we sell, which simplifies the entire policy wording into what is covered, what is not, what are the exclusions, everything in simple, words at a large font size. All of this has been taken care, but the customer at the end of the day has to read that sheet. If you simply don't read and assume, no, I will buy this and the entire, universe is covered, then I don't think any business can work like that. We have to be also viable at the end of the day, isn't it?
Thank you, ma'am. So, generally in Chennai, we say hot, hotter, hottest. We have never seen rains so often. But then of late in the last few years, flooding has been a major cause of concern for most of the industries. Especially the small, medium enterprises have been very, very hardly hit by these. What's your experience from an insurance company, or you can give an example, because I would like to focus only on Chennai's floods, which really created a huge economic loss for all the enterprises.
Yeah, so actually we are heavily present in the entire country, and South is no exception. We are very heavily present in Chennai, and Chennai floods had created a huge, claims for us across all the segments we are present in, and around 6,000 claims, I think more than that. Totally we paid on Chennai floods, and around 1,000 of odd were from property, the rest was from motor and other lines. And I'm very happy to tell you that 99% of all claims have been paid, settled. The 1% that remains is also because of documentation not being given. Proof or whatever requirements as per the policy terms, even the reduced requirements as per the cat peril, when there's a cat, we normally reduce the requirements. Even that was not provided. And that 1% remains only because of that. Otherwise, it's fully paid, 99%.
Good. Now, all these days, people had a belief that cyber security or cyber hacks are only for big enterprises. Of late, most of the small manufacturing enterprises also face the threat from cyber. Does insurance cover any of these threats? Ransom covers or any of these?
We do cover. We have a cyber security, we have a cyber policy. People can visit any of our offices or even on our website, can take the help of our agents or our digital marketing space also to buy these policies.
Wonderful. Right. Now, when you gave your keynote speak, you said about parametrics. Is there any thought? See, we have got a lot of spaces like Gindi, Ambattur, Sriperumbudur, a lot of industrial estates. Is there a possibility of parametric insurance coming to this space so that you cover all the industries in that space? Is there any thought like that?
Yeah, so if there has to be one policy covering so many, there has to either be an association that buys the policy. We could do it on a group basis. If there's an association that has got members who operate there, we could sort of give a master policy to them and we could cover them for those perils which they are exposed to. It could be flooding, could be rain, we could cover for any of those perils. Otherwise, we have to do it on a retail basis.
Exactly. So this is where I was coming from, because the documentation process for individually, the number of questions across the globe, this is what is evolving, where parametric is taking over. So that's the reason I asked you this question. Does New India have any specific idea of covering specificness? Because it will be helpful for many of my friends over here.
Yeah, we launched a parametric insurance cover in March this year called Nishchit Suraksha. This gives a cover against perils of the weather. It could be any weather-related peril. It could be rainfall, it could be excessive winds, it could be cyclone, it could be cloudburst, anything. And if you have bought the protection against that particular peril, and thresholds which are fixed before you buy the cover, the thresholds are fixed. Rainfall crossing a particular or wind speed beyond a particular limit, all of that. If that is, if you have purchased that cover, then if the threshold is breached, then claims are paid up to the full sum insured instantly without any documentation, without asking for any other proof, because the thresholds that are fixed are based on third-party vendors who maintain this, like the IMD, some government agencies maintaining that particular, weather peril-related data. It runs entirely on that data, which is predetermined. And once the threshold is crossed, payments are made automatically. It is entirely digital, end-to-end. And therefore, there is no complexity of claims here. There is no documentation, nothing required at the time of a claim. You just have to breach that threshold and you are paid. It's paid to your bank account directly.
Fantastic. That's been very, very
And
innovative.
if the threshold is breached and you have not made a loss, even then it is paid.
Okay.
It is like that. It is
Fantastic.
paid, yeah.
That's a great initiative. Probably all of us will have to. Now, before I wind the fireside chat, one last question. See, there's a lot of process, everything is involved in insurance, that's all fine. But in your opinion, the law of large number is something, that's why insurers become very selective in selecting only X company, Y company, like that. So, unless you go of law of large numbers of insuring maximum number of people, you will not be able to sustain the loss ratios. As an insurer also, I know, right? Now, what are the initiatives taken by insurance companies to reach out to everybody?
Yeah, so actually New India Assurance is 107 years old. We have weathered many storms, many cyclones, and many health hazards, and we are still here, and we are still the largest, and I think the growth rate also is the highest in the industry as of today. Market share is also at 15.51. So I think we are doing our basics are somewhere right. Yeah, having said that, I think there's the lack of awareness, which is very concerning. Even though the urban population people are aware, but even if they are aware, whether the awareness is correct, are they really aware, or are they misinformed and aware? That is something we need to really demystify what they know about insurance. We need to put insurance in the correct perspective as to whether you have bought what you really want, and whether that peril has happened, whether you are understanding what you have bought, and whether the claim is really happened, whether you can actually claim under that policy. These things you really need to read the fine print. Those days are gone when you just believe word of mouth and went about it with so many climatic changes happening, and now with the opening up of the sector, there's a lot more innovation that's happening. One product is not like the other. There is no standardized product. Standardization is gone. It is customization, which is going to play a very key role in the next few decades. And when there's customization, it is done as per the customer's need. And therefore, it's very important to understand what you are buying and buy the right product. So this level of awareness, people need to open up their minds to understanding what this financial product is all about. There is no other financial product in the market like insurance. Insurance cannot be thought of like a life insurance, you are buying life insurance policy for investment. It is never an investment. It is always a risk protection, it's always a risk transfer tool, and it will always remain like that. And there is no other financial product that is a risk transfer tool. So it has to be looked at like a risk transfer tool, wherein there is a risk of uncertainty. Uncertainty is the base, which we cover. It's whatever uncertain, which will not happen or may not happen or happens very rarely. That is what we cover. We don't cover daily, what happens regularly and daily. We don't cover. There is no uncertainty in that. So we don't cover that. So, and therefore we have the law of large numbers, like you said, because unless we have many people the losses of the few can be managed by the fund created by the many. This is the base of insurance. This is how insurance started more than a century ago in London. And this is how it will be always. It's a law of large numbers that will prevail. If the entire population, insures, then possibly catastrophic perils and economic loss would be insured more often than not. Today it is less than 20%. We should look at covering economic loss at least up to 90-95%. That's when I think we would have financially included most of our population under insurance.
Thank you, ma'am, for clarifying this. And then let me tell you, friends, digitalization is going to be the in thing. Across the globe, digitalization has been order of the day. And then even for SMEs, MSMEs, digitalized insurance product will be the order of the day from all insurers. I'm sure that New India also will be into the same foray of this thing. Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Thank you so much on behalf of SME Communities. I thank you for your valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you.